All right, today we're going to dive into a single day in a training plan that looks, well, almost deceptively simple. But trust me, underneath the surface, it is an absolute masterclass in training strategy.
So, what's on the menu? It's Thursday, week 10. We've got an easy run, just over 6 kilometers, and that's followed by a strength session at 70% volume. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Kind of like a light day. But the real genius here is hidden in the details.
And this right here, this is the mission statement for the entire day. It's all about walking a tightrope. We want to stimulate the body just enough to keep it sharp and ready to go, but not so much that we're just piling on more fatigue. This isn't guesswork. This is precision. Which, of course, brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. Why these specific things? Why do them in this exact order? And why on a Thursday? Come on, let's peel back the layers and really get into the science behind the schedule.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the order of operations. And I want to be super clear. This is not a suggestion. For any day that combines running and lifting, this is a non-negotiable golden rule. You always run first.
And this is exactly why it's such a big deal. Think about it. When you lift weights first, you tire out all of your key stabilizing muscles. So then, when you go out for your run, your form is sloppy, your running economy completely tanks, and your risk of getting injured just skyrockets. Running first means your main sport, the thing we're training for, gets the highest quality effort. Simple as that.
Now let's get into the first part of the workout, the easy run. We hear coaches throw around words like easy or regenerative all the time, but what do they actually mean? What's the science behind it?
So the plan is very specific. A distance of 6.44 kilometers, done in a pretty narrow pace window, between 5:20 and 5:39 per kilometer. And that is not a random pace, believe me. It is prescribed for a very specific reason.
But before we geek out on the data, let's just talk about the feel. The number one most important rule for any easy run is that it has to be completely conversational. If you can't hold a full conversation with a friend without gasping for air, you are going too hard. Period. End of story.
But easy isn't just a vibe, right? It's a real, measurable physiological state. We're talking about a rate of perceived exertion, or RPE, of maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. If you train with a heart rate monitor, this is your classic zone 2. And if you follow the legendary coach Jack Daniels, this is what he calls E-pace. The whole point is to build up your aerobic engine, making your heart stronger, getting more blood to your muscles, all without adding a bunch of stress.
So how do you nail this? The main goal is just to be smooth. Keep your natural, efficient cadence ticking over. Don't try to force a longer stride or push the pace. And hey, if you're feeling a little beat up from a tough workout the day before, it's totally okay. In fact, it's smart to hang out at the slower end of that pace range. Let your body recover.
All right, the run is done. Now it's time to hit the gym. But today's strength session is totally different from what you might be used to. Today, we are hunting for something called the minimal effective dose.
And the magic number for today is 70%. So if last week your plan had you doing 3 sets of 10, today we're pulling way back to 2 sets of 8. This is a very deliberate cut in volume. The goal is to maintain strength, not to build it.
And this whole idea of the minimal effective dose is just brilliant. It's about getting the benefit without paying the cost. We want to keep those brain-to-muscle connections firing. We want to remind our bodies how to be strong. But what we absolutely cannot afford is that deep muscle soreness that would turn Sunday's long run into a total nightmare.
So what does this workout actually look like? Well, every single exercise here was chosen to make you a better runner. Goblet squats are there to maintain power with perfect technique. Romanian deadlifts keep your hamstrings and glutes ready for action. Lunges are all about that single leg stability you need for every step you run. And then you have calf raises and core work to protect all those important supporting parts. Every single move is a tool to help your running.
Okay, so we've broken down the run, we've broken down the strength session. Now, let's zoom out. Let's see where this one day fits into the grand strategy of the entire training week.
Take a look at this timeline. The whole week is built around 2 really high-stress days. Tuesday's brutal interval session and Sunday's massive long run. Our Thursday workout, it's the strategic bridge between them. It's not just another easy day, it's an active session that's designed to get the body ready for the weekend without piling on any more stress.
You know, there's a great coaching term for this. It's called modulation. You can't just go hard day after day and expect to get better. The real fitness gains, what we call adaptation, that magic happens during recovery. So the rule is simple. The bigger the stress, the bigger and smarter the recovery needs to be. So really, when you boil it all down, today's workout has 4 clear goals. We are absolutely trying to maintain our running economy, keep those muscles firing, and reinforce stability. But the most important goal, the one in all caps, is to reduce the total cumulative fatigue from the entire week.
And why is that so critical, especially here in week 10? Because the whole training philosophy starts to shift. Early in a training cycle, it's all about volume, volume, volume. But the closer you get to race day, freshness becomes the most valuable weapon in your arsenal. This workout is a direct investment in that freshness.
So how will you know if you totally nailed it? Easy. Your body will tell you. The next day, on Friday, you shouldn't feel heavy or stiff. You should actually feel pretty loose and mobile. But the real test? That comes on Sunday. Your long run should feel strong and comfortable, not like you're fighting your own body just to get through it. And that really brings us to our final thought for today. It's so easy to look at a training plan as just a to-do list, a bunch of tasks you have to check off. But it's so much more than that. It's a carefully written script designed to trigger very specific changes in your body. Every single workout, especially the easy ones, is telling a part of that story. So the real question is, are you listening?